We can have a happy marriage or a successful business, but you can't have both. And that wasn't good enough for me. That wasn't good enough for us. Like, we truly believe that you can have both. You can have everything.
If our relationship is going super smoothly, we're able to show up in our business as our whole, undistracted, powerful, creative self, right? If things aren't good at home, it can affect our business. If things are rough in the business, we can sometimes bring that home and it affects our marriage.
I think the most important thing as a human that we want is to love and be loved, right? So to give and receive love in a way that is fully felt, fully appreciated, fully seen, and fully desired. And when we operate ourselves and our life from that place, we have a vibration that not just ripples out, but creates a tidal wave to the world around us.
It's funny how the universe works, that oftentimes we go through something and figure it out, and then right after that, we start attracting clients that are experiencing that same thing. And it's kind of this moment of, oh, okay, well, I'm glad we went through that because now we have these tools.
Hello and welcome to Married and Magnetic, the place for entrepreneurial couples who want to stay happily married.
In each episode, we have real conversations with ordinary couples doing extraordinary things, sharing achievements, everyday joys, challenges, and the mindset and tools that make love the greatest strategic edge.
We are James
And Angela Mitchell.
A real-life married couple. She's a counselor.
And he's a coach.
Parents to 3 kids.
And co-founders of Love Intentionally. We've ridden the highs
and lows
of building businesses while working hard to stay happily married. We've lived it, done the work,
got the t-shirt,
and are here to help you do the same.
This is Married and Magnetic, where love, business, and growth collide. Let's dive in, y'all. Hello, loves. Hello, new friends and old friends. This is James.
And Angela.
We're the Mitchells, and we're Love Intentionally, and welcome to our new podcast, Married and Magnetic.
We are super excited. So,
episode. First episode, and we're here to tell you a little bit about why we're doing this, who it's for, what you can expect out of it, and a little bit about our story.
Who we are, why we're talking to you.
Why would you want to listen to this thing effectively? So this is your opportunity to get to know us on a little deeper level at the beginning, so we can dive in deeper and deeper each episode. All right, y'all. So, really exciting that we get to be our own first guest on our show. It really seemed appropriate because we are, in fact, married entrepreneurs. We are married and we are in the same business. And this podcast is for any couple who has at least one entrepreneur in that couple. Okay? So it doesn't really matter what your configuration is, but as long as you got one entrepreneur, maybe even a side hustler, this is the place to come and get supported in your marriage or relationship, whatever you like to call it, for the long term, to make sure that that maintains and continues to grow alongside your business.
Yeah. So why we're doing this? I'll speak for me, but we feel really passionate about offering support, getting community, getting conversations going about how we can have our marriage thrive in addition to our business. What I've tended to notice, maybe you have too, is that there's this whole business world out there and people get a lot of support around business stuff. And then there's this marriage relationship world and people get support around that. And they don't often happen together, which I think is a big miss because quite frankly, they impact each other, right? If our relationship is going super smoothly, we're able to show up in our business as our whole, undistracted, powerful, creative self, right? If things aren't good at home, it can affect our business. If things are rough in the business, we can sometimes bring that home and it affects our marriage. So really figuring out how do we make both of these things thrive is something I personally am excited to explore.
And I'm also excited to explore that. What I also find is really important about why we're doing this podcast is to help bring to light the struggles, the challenges, the triumphs, and the stories for those of you entrepreneurs in general who are out there living a bold and courageous life, taking the risks to create the life that you've always dreamed of, not waiting for somebody to hand it to you, but doing whatever it takes to grow yourself to become the person that can have, do, be, and give everything that you want to in this world.
Yeah. And for so many of us, the reason we go into entrepreneurship is because we want to make a difference. We want to make an impact. We want to leave a legacy. And that is no small feat. And we know it goes really more smoothly when you have that solid partner next to you and behind you and cheering you on, or maybe diving in and doing the work with you.
Because as hard as entrepreneurship can be and as challenging as that is, marriage has its own equal challenges to it. And when you put entrepreneurship and long-term relationships, which for the record, on this podcast, I'm going to use the word marriage a lot, but put in whatever word you like, my partner, my ride or die, my long-term, whatever it is. But if you're in a committed relationship, this is who we're speaking to. Okay. And so in essence, when you take two really hard things, entrepreneurship and marriage, and you mix those two together, it can create a lot of additional challenges. And nobody really gets what it's like or what those challenges are unless you can live them. And it became really important to us to have this conversation on a greater and a wider level to help people feel seen and understood. And that's the foundation for creating more appreciation for what you've got and what you're doing. And when that connection forms from appreciation in your relationship, you get to have the rocket fuel that drives forward every aspect of success in your business, for your family, whatever other endeavors you're choosing.
Yeah. And part of that too is that we want to help people with actual tools, tangible things you can do, processes and mind shifts and the, tools. I'll use tools again, strategies that you can use to really help make sure your relationship is thriving and healthy and successful while you're on this entrepreneurial journey. And so we'll, whether it's James and I talking or many weeks, we will have guests on that we are interviewing other couples about what they do and how they make sure that their marriage is staying priority and that they're staying connected. And we want you to walk away with real things you can use. So that'll be a goal each episode as well.
And one of the things we've learned in our 7 years of doing this work together is that when it comes to marriage in general, if you have parents who have been married for your entire life, you're ahead of the game by far.
And in the minority.
Yeah, right. And also in those long-term marriages from previous generations, that might not exactly be the marriage that you want to emulate. Just because your parents have been married that long doesn't mean they've been happily married for that long.
Or that what looks happy to them is the same that would be happy to you, right?
Mm-hmm. So we're here to help give you other ideas, other ways, other strategies, other tools, and really help teach entrepreneurial couples how to be married more intentionally to create more joy, more happiness, and more success.
Cool. All right. So who this is for, we have mentioned this is for entrepreneurial couples, married entrepreneurs, however you want to term that. And we've really identified there are 4 types of those. So first, there is what we call the anchorpreneur. These are terms that we mostly made up. So you're welcome. So yeah, the anchorpreneur, and we see this a lot in the couples we work with. That is where one is the entrepreneur and the other is what we call the anchor. That could be they're the stay-at-home parent, the CEO of the household. That could be that they have a W-2, so they're holding down that steady salary or the benefits for the family. So anchorpreneur is one type.
Then we have our parallelpreneur. Both of the people in the relationship are entrepreneurs in their own separate businesses. So we've got 2 leaders doing their own thing and then coming together in marriage.
And then we have the couplepreneurs. So those are the ones of you that are crazy enough, like us, to go into business together. So 2 people in the same entrepreneurial journey, business.
Generally couples that say, we are crushing it at life. We get along so well at home. We manage everything so great. Like, let's just do this in our business too. And shout out to the word couplepreneur. We did not come up with that one. And there are a lot of folks, and there's one company called Couplepreneur that really crushes it in that regard. Talking more about business.
All right. And then the last one is the side hustler. So that's those of you who maybe you still have your steady job, your day job, but you have the side hustle that oftentimes you're hoping becomes your main job. But right now you're at a point where you're just trying to get that off the ground and explore, dabble in that.
Yeah. All right. You've got 2 people that have full-time jobs, probably full-time other things, maybe kids, household, friends, life. They got a life too. And then on top of that, they are working to create their future through a side hustle. They realize that the only way to build real wealth in this world is to own something. And so they are giving it all of their extra. They're burning the candle at both ends to make sure that they can build the dream life that they have. And at the core, who this is for couples who give a shit about their marriage. They really want to invest in it. They realize the value of being extremely connected and on the same page, and what that does, not only for the vibes around the house, but what that does for their ability to bring that energy into other aspects of their life.
Yeah. And we've lived, I think, we've never been parallelpreneurs. Well,
We kind of are right now.
Kind of all right. Okay.
Kind of are
We've
right
done
now.
all of them. We'll just go with that. We've
We've
done
got 'em
all
all.
of them. So we've experienced the joys and the struggles of each one. And so that's part of why we are passionate about doing this work, so that maybe you can learn from some of our mistakes
All right, y'all.
and the things we did right.
That's what we got in terms of who this is for, why we're doing it, and what our mission and vision is behind it. It's to help bring more love to your relationship, because that love will then ripple out into all of the areas of your life around you.
Awesome.
Worth it.
So